Hey guys, because last Saturday my lip butt officially healed, and tonight it's 2-for-1 piercings at the local piercing shop, I'm going to talk about everything that you need to know about getting pierced. Well, before we begin, you're going to have to know what you want pierced and with what, and you're going to have to know where you're going to go to get pierced. So I don't recommend just like searching it up, a place to get pierced like Yellow Pages. I recommend word of mouth, figure out who got pierced and where, and if you trust the place, find the place that you feel comfortable with and you trust them and they'll qualify. Don't just use your friend's cousin to pierce you. Make sure that you trust the place and you are comfortable with the cost of the piercing. So the day of, make sure you eat, make sure you're comfortable and relaxed and you're ready to get pierced. Go to the piercing shop. When you go there, they will ask you what you want pierced and with what. So I can say my my left nostril with a hoop, and so they know, okay, left nostril with a hoop, and they know what they're doing with you. There is paperwork that you need to fill out. So after you guys know what is going on, like after you know, okay, so they want their nostril pierced and not their eyebrow pierced or whatever, you have to fill out some paperwork, and this is completely dependent on how old you were. No matter how old you are, you always have to fill out paperwork. If you say over 18 versus under 18, there's a special section that's all like with parental guidance, or you need your parent to okay it, you need them to sign off on some stuff. But that small section is just like if you're under 18. But if you're over 18, ignore it and fill out everything that you want. Your like name, age, I guess where you live. They want follow up, so you need to fill out your like email address, and then they do like health stuff like do you have low blood pressure? Do you have you experienced keloids? Or you uh have do you bleed a lot? Kind of deal, like certain things. Are you pregnant? Are you nursing? Make sure you write down like yes or no. I recommend saying no to all of those because if there's ever a reason for you not to get pierced, they have the right to refuse you. But basic stuff about you, and then yes or no about if you're nursing and stuff, because that would affect you mostly, I think, if you are getting your nipple pierced. And after you fill out that wonderful form, you'll be ready to go. So let's use my nose as an example, not this one. Say I wanted my right nostril pierced. They will use a disinfectant to make it so it's like nice and clean, and then they will milk it with a mostly a toothpick they would dip in ink, and then they'll mark it, say like, oh, you want it here, or you want it too high, like kind of, they ask you where you want it. If you don't want it there, they'll erase it, disinfect it again, and make sure they have it in the place that you want it. And then it depends on the piercer, but they're big on like breath work. They're not gonna be like, okay, let's do some deep breathing exercises, but you should work on your breathing, and before they pierce you, you have to do a deep breath in, and when they pierce you, you exhale, and then like it's basically like needles going in and you're exhaling, and that makes it not hurt that much. But not all piercers do that, but I do recommend that you do the inhale exhale kind of deal, because otherwise it's kind of like I know when I got my one or two times when I got my navel pierced, uh it wasn't done like that, and it was like kind of like I want to keep breathing, but the needle's still going in kind of deal. It's better. Or I recommend you have the breathing down because it hurts less when you exhale when it's inserted. After the needle's in, they will switch it out for the jewelry. There's I hate saying pain rating and stuff because I think it's different for everybody, but I would say that the insertion of the jewelry hurts more than the piercing. Just because it's like you have a hole in your body and now you're just playing around with the hole and putting the jewelry in. So it's not the most fun thing you can do. But yeah, they also say that when they clamp, because sometimes you can clamp. I think my lip was not this one, but my side lip was clamped. And that's just when you have the clamp. And some people say that the clamp hurts more. Not in my opinion, but sometimes they clamp it and then they pierce it. It's all personal, subjective opinions. So yeah, sometimes you clamp it, sometimes you just needle it, but without a doubt, after the piercing, they put the jewelry in, and then they're like, and then you're done. And you look in the mirror and you're like, oh man, I look so fine. After you get pierced, and maybe they give you like a rundown, sometimes they give you a piece of paper. After that, you just leave. Well, you have to, obviously, you have to pay. And, payment ranges, like cost-wise, for what it is and where it is. And by where it is, I mean like what shop you went to. So it's not inexpensive, but if you want it enough, you'll pay that amount. And when you're there and you're paying for the piercing and the jewelry, sometimes it's like payment of the piercer and payment of the jewelry and the insertion fee kind of deal. I guess payment for the piercer. Of course, you'll be at the till, and they would recommend you buy other stuff like aftercare stuff, which would mostly be sea salt. They give you like there's sea salt in packets, and then there's spray also, like just aftercare stuff. And I do recommend you do buy that if you're not sure. Otherwise, well, there you go, you're done. But I recommend tipping your piercer, and there you have it, getting pierced. And then you might be like running around downtown and being so happy and euphoric because that's what I do. I'm like all happy after I got a new piercing. But the aftercare can be a bitch. So let's do a rundown of the aftercare because my video does say everything you need to know about piercing. So let's go. I did say in the till or the aftercare package, they have salt, like sea salt, and that's because you need sea salt to clean yourself. So I have a bunch of stuff right here, and I'll show you how to everything you need, more or less. So when you're getting, say, if you were getting an oral piercing, and that's like any tongue, any lip, any cheek, whatever, they will give you saline to kind of rinse your mouth with to disinfect your mouth, and then they'll pierce it. And generally for oral piercings, you just need to rinse it out with water. But of course, they do recommend with sea salt because sea salt will take away any bacteria or whatnot that is around your mouth. And this is my sea salt soap dealie. Not sponsored by Nalgene. And I say sea salt, I have here, when I looked it up, it says dissolve a 1/4 teaspoon of non-iodized, iodine-free sea salt into 1 cup or 8 ounces of warm distilled or bottled water. And then I did the math on it and I added that all up so it will fit into here. By the way, this is way more than 8 ounces, but I just wanted to be sure that I always had some water on me. This is just water plus salt. The type of salt matters tons because they add iodine in it and that's not good for your skin or not good for piercings. So make sure it's iodine free. You will use cups and Q-tips, anything you need to clean piercings. For example, if I was cleaning this piercing, I would use like a Q-tip maybe and do this, or I would fully submerge it. And submerging happens with everything. You would even like use a cup and like first cleaning this piercing, put it in. You have to do that at least once a day. Don't over clean it because if you over clean it, that takes away all the bacteria. Some of the bacteria which is healing your piercing and doing good for your piercing, and that's not cool. Other things that you can use are this, which I used for my navel the third or fourth time. This is for wound wash sterile solution, so basically it's the same thing that I just showed you, but this is in this bottle. I don't think I have much of it left. I think I used it on some contact lenses last time, but yes, you can use this. Make sure if you get mouthwash, it doesn't have alcohol in it, because the mouthwash with alcohol is a bit too corrosive for fresh piercings, but eventually, after a few months, you can use alcohol again. Also, if you happen to buy the kit that comes with the aftercare, it comes with a spray, and here's a piercing aftercare. And this is what it comes with. Mine still pretty much full, because it's probably not my first one that I've had. But yes, it comes with spray. You spray your piercing the affected area, and that just keeps it fine. You just spray it and leave it. And that seems like the easiest way to take care of your piercing. Make sure you do it once or twice a day. There's different recommendations on it, but usually once or twice a day, in the morning and at night, to make sure your piercing's good to go. Different piercings heal differently, so I think a good rule of thumb would probably be 3 months, but for cartilage piercings, it takes 6 to 1 year to heal. Navel, it's a surface piercing, and that takes it's pretty time, at least 8 months. And I would ask the piercer how long it will take to heal, because different piercings heal differently. Lastly, I want to add that to heal, it just takes being healthy, being sanitary, and it just takes time to heal. So I tended to be a bit desperate in a piercing issue of mine, and I would grab this guy. This is tea tree oil, and it's not recommended to use tea tree oil. It's also like not recommended. There are a few things you're not recommended to do. Tea tree oil is not recommended. Alcohol is not recommended unless you're like cleaning just the piercings. But if you're cleaning the piercing that you got pierced and around it, not good, because that's a bit too corrosive and it's not good for it. And I think that's a good way to go about, like, that's a good rule of thumb. Just don't use that kind of stuff. If you have like an issue with the piercing, if you have an issue with the piercing and it doesn't come from you taking immaculate care of it, go to the piercing shop again or ask the piercer what I should do. I did have a build-up on 1 or 2 of my piercings, and all it took was just me cleaning it properly and not using corrosive materials. Like, some things can be really, really bad for your skin, so make sure you just use salt and water, not too much salt, and enough water. If you want to clean your mouth with just water, that's a good way to go. I would recommend having your own saline solution. So yeah, that's basically everything you need to know about piercings from my view. Pain and location and everything is all about coming from your guys' view. I don't think that everybody should get pierced all the time, but if you want to get pierced, do it responsibly. And consider the aftermath of it, because, not to go too deep into it, but for the piercings that I've had that I've taken out, or the piercings that I've had that have rejected, it's an awful feeling altogether. And also, I think that piercings in general, after you get pierced, that changes things a bit. Getting pierced and having a piercing changes how people view you and how you react to them. And so you should maybe consider the implications of getting pierced before you get pierced. And yeah, I know that one thing that will probably come up is like your parents and their reaction, or your boss, people in power. So it's a tricky subject, and if there's anything else you need to know or want to know, put it down in the comments and I will get back to you as soon as I can. But yes, that is everything that you need to know about getting pierced. Love X Lyrics. Bye.